Brenda's Bonkers. Today I've been talking about boundaries. We've covered emotional boundaries and time boundaries. Today I'm going to talk about physical boundaries and sexual boundaries. But first, let me tell you a little bit about what's been going on with me. First of all, I've had a little bit of some symptoms of my schizoaffective disorder. I got my shot on Friday. I've been taking the extra pill that's the same as the shot. And I'm doing all right. The shot should get in my system. It usually takes about a week. So I should be getting better. Also, my services started back up. So today I started with my aide. We went to Dollar Tree. We did PCA. We did some cooking. And she did some house cleaning. I also got my food services back where they delivered food to me today. So things are getting back on track, which is good. It's Holy Week, so my husband has been incredibly busy with church stuff. But that's about where we're at. The kids are on spring break. So they're home, they're enjoying their life. So, physical boundaries. Physical boundaries is personal space and physical touch. Now, there's always been, in my mind, kind of a 3-foot radius. Like when you stand in line, you stand 3 feet away. When you're talking to someone, you stand 3 feet away from them and talk. During COVID, that kind of changed to a 6 feet boundary. And there, to give you an example of a physical boundary, my son has one with his son. He won't let me kiss my grandchild. That's a physical boundary. That's also a sexual boundary, but that's a physical boundary because he doesn't want the grandchild to get sick. Other boundaries are handshaking or giving hugs. My husband gives a lot of hugs at church. Usually people put their arms out there as consent. There has to be consensual touching. Along with that, I want to tell you a story. When I was working, there was a coworker that just started working at my job. And he came up behind me. He grabbed my arm and squeezed it so bad, he left a bruise. And I asked him to apologize, and he said, "No, I'm not apologizing." So I complained to my department head, who complained to the manager, who went to the store manager, and ultimately the man got fired. That actually was physical assault. My job should have reported it to the police. They took pictures of it. The guy admitted that he did it. He didn't feel bad for doing it at all. I didn't even know this guy. He just came up and grabbed my arm. So that was a physical boundary that he broke. And it's no fun to be put in those kind of situations. So that's what I have for physical boundaries. I know it's not much. Sexual boundaries is involving consent and personal comfort in sexual situations. Now, if you're going to be in a sexual relationship with someone, you really need to talk with them. Talk about what your boundaries are. I'll tell you some of my boundaries. When I had my period, I didn't want to have sex. I don't know too many women that want to have sex when they have their period. So that was one boundary that I had to talk with my partner about. Another one was that I didn't like being tied up or spanked or hit. That's another boundary. How far you're going to go in a sexual relationship. So that involves talking to your partner ahead of time so that they know what you're consenting to and what you're not consenting to. And just because you consent this time does not mean you consent every time. Even in a marriage, just because you're married does not mean that they have consent. They have to get consent every time. There's days that I just don't want to have sex. And I tell my partner that. Maybe it's just been a long day. For whatever reason, I'm not consenting that day. And my partner will have to deal with that. So let me tell you another work story. I guess this is story time. So when I was at work, there were customers, and I was wearing shorts. And because we were allowed to wear shorts at work because they didn't have air conditioning. And I was on a ladder. A customer came up to me and started rubbing my legs and saying that I had really good legs. Now, granted, I was a little flattered that he thought I had great legs, but I told him to get off me, you freak. And he left. I could have handled it better. I could have got him arrested for sexual assault. It was unwarranted. It was without permission. It wasn't asked. I think employers need to really talk with their employees, especially ones that deal with the public, and teach sexual boundaries and teach physical boundaries and what to do, how to report it, when to report it, who to call. I should have called security on the guy, and they should have called the police. I know I've heard lots of stories about um, people grabbing waitresses' butts, but that's not okay. Those are sexual boundaries that are being broken. So consent is really important. So that's what I have for sexual boundaries. Um, like and subscribe. I'm working on boundaries with my arms worker, so that's why I'm going through this series of boundaries. Have a great day and enjoy. Bye.